One of the best Apple products you can buy today is almost kind of a secret. It never usually takes center stage at a big Apple event or gets a Mission Impossible style mini movie starring Tim Cook. It's more out of sight, out of mind, until you hear this sound and feel a little buzz on your wrist. The Apple Watch has got a long and complicated history that has never really gone according to plan. But the Series 7 is shaping up to not only be a major upgrade, but news about that new Apple Watch gives us a really good idea of some of the biggest changes coming to the iPhone 13, new MacBook Pros, new iPads, and much, much more. Buckle up and get ready. This is going to be one really busy fall. And a huge thanks to Canva for sponsoring this video. I have been wearing an Apple Watch on my wrist since the very first models debuted back in April of 2015. And yes, in this video, that is me, a wee freshman in college, unboxing, I think it was an Apple Watch Sport Edition back in the spring of 2015. And I'm not sure why I had this cobbled together camera setup or what I was trying to film. I just remember being super excited to capture this new product category from Apple, the very first in Apple's smartwatch lineup. And I knew I wanted to save this video and kind of revisit it again, which I guess is what I'm doing right now. In fact, if we go back even further, yes, that is also me showing off my really cool iPod Nano I had in one of those third-party cases that you could wear on your wrist as sort of an iWatch. Before the Apple Watch was even a thing, you could use old iPods as watches, but I don't want to go any further because now I'm just embarrassing myself. Look, I don't want to turn this video into a history lesson on the Apple Watch or go into a lot of the weird details of that story, but I do think we just have to acknowledge how far the Apple Watch has come. It has gone from being this weird sort of fashion accessory that at one time had an edition that cost $10,000 to being a little slow and cumbersome to slowly but surely, time after time, getting better and better and better to where we are today, where the Apple Watch is a vital, important part of sort of the wider Apple ecosystem. And as we're sort of into the summer now, looking into the fall, we know that Apple has a very busy couple of months ahead of them. They're gonna release the new iPhone 13 series with multiple models. We've got new iPad minis to look forward to, hopefully a redesigned model. We're finally expecting to see those new MacBook Pros redesigned with the new Apple Silicon chips inside. Hopefully, maybe some new AirPods as well. But more than anything, as we hear more and more about these new products, the Apple Watch Series 7 is also getting a lot of love and attention. In fact, as we hear more and more about the smaller upgrades coming to the iPhone 13, that this is going to be a smaller, more incremental year for updates for the iPhone, it's actually kind of the opposite for the Apple Watch. Apple has some really big plans for this little device. The big story this year with the Apple Watch Series 7 is that the watch is getting a major design overhaul. We haven't really seen any significant change to the Apple Watch since the Series 4 several years ago. According to multiple sources, the Apple Watch Series 7 is going to get a design overhaul similar to that of the all-new iPhone 13, the new iPad mini, iPad Pro, even rumored to be for these new MacBook Pros, which is that new industrial design language. You have boxy edges, you have squared off corners. If it looks anything like these renders suggest, it is going to look like a really fantastic overhaul and should just be a really beautiful watch. It is going to get a little bit heavier, we're hearing, but you really shouldn't be able to notice it all that much. And also the display bezel should get a little bit thinner as well, so don't expect any changes to the screen size, but the bezels on the side should get just a hair thinner. So we have the Series 7 shaping up to take a lot of design cues from the upcoming iPhone 13, but we've also got some news suggesting that maybe the iPhone 13 is gonna take some cues from the Apple Watch, even some older models of the Apple Watch to be specific. A new report from Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg suggests that Apple is working on at least one model of the iPhone 13 series that has LTPO backplane display technology. It essentially allows for a couple of big things, one being variable refresh rates for ProMotion, finally on the iPhone 13, and also allows for always-on display capabilities as well. In fact, Mark Gurman specifically cites the Apple Watch as an example of this always-on display tech with LTPO display technology built inside the device. ProMotion seems like sort of a done deal at this point, knock on wood, but an always-on display is a little bit more up in the air. We had heard rumors specifically from Max Weinbach that Apple was at least testing always-on displays on the iPhone, at least some of the higher-end iPhone 13 Pro models, and that it could look very similar to the always-on display tech on the Apple Watch, specifically the design of what you could see at a glance. You sort of get the time, maybe the weather, maybe some very small notifications that you can kind of glance at and see kind of what you need to read and what you need to go back to later. But at the same time, we also know that just because the iPhone can do something, technically it's capable of it, doesn't mean it's going to happen, at least not right away. We know that the iPhone was capable of reverse wireless charging, rumor has it, for multiple years, but we just got this actually turned on with the recent addition of this MagSafe battery pack that goes on the back of the iPhone 12 series, that yes, it can be charged via reverse wireless charging. So maybe there's an always on display feature that comes later on down the road. Maybe Apple turns it on when it launches. Maybe they just keep it off completely. We don't know which way this is going to go, but the technology is there to support an always on display on the all-new iPhone 13. Another big feature rumored to be coming to the Apple Watch Series 7 is Touch ID built under the display of the Apple Watch. You could basically put your finger on the display on the Apple Watch and authenticate and make purchases, unlock devices, or whatever you want to use Touch ID to authenticate for in various scenarios. Now, this sounds really cool and does make a little more sense as we learn more about the iPhone 13, or specifically what we're learning the iPhone 13 will not have. We had heard rumors for months that the iPhone 13 was supposed to have both Face ID and Touch ID built in, but the closer and closer we get to the fall launch, the less likely it seems like that's going to happen. Again, to go back to Mark Gurman's report over at Bloomberg, he says that Apple is at least testing the technology, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year with the iPhone 13 launching this fall. So maybe having Touch ID built in the Apple Watch could be a nice concession or a nice middle ground, basically giving you the ability to sort of have the best of both worlds. Maybe Apple could sort of push an update to iOS 15 and maybe versions of macOS and stuff like that to allow for authentication with your Apple Watch. So you could basically authenticate your finger on your Apple Watch to make purchases with Apple Pay. You could use it to unlock different devices, and more than just sort of the unlock feature that we have right now. This would be like a full-featured, full biometric unlock with Touch ID built in the Apple Watch. Lots of possibilities here, and it sounds super cool, and I would love to see it happen. Unfortunately, it's a little dicey on whether or not it's going to happen this year. Probably not. We heard from one report that it was going to happen, but they sort of have a mixed track record. A little up in the air if it's going to happen, but probably not. At least it's a fun rumor to talk about, think about, and dream about. Before we continue talking about products that might or might not exist, let me tell you about an awesome service you can start using and enjoying right now. That, of course, is this video's sponsor, Canva. If you haven't heard of Canva, it is an incredible design platform. And with Canva Pro, you get to unlock the full power and potential of that platform, allowing you to create stunning content like posters, presentations, social media videos, and more in a way that is quick, easy, and honestly, just plain fun. Something I really appreciate about Canva Pro is that you're getting access to an incredibly powerful design platform that is perfect for you regardless of your experience. Whether you're an avid designer and you've kind of done this more than a few times, or you're like me, more of a beginner and a novice. But with Canva Pro, I can easily jump right in. I can start from scratch, or even better yet, start from one of the beautiful templates and start creating and editing and customizing something that just looks, honestly, really great and what I could not have done on my own. Another great feature of Canva Pro is that you're getting access to over 75 million premium photos, videos, audio, graphics. You've got everything you need all in one place to start creating and sharing. No having to dig around through folders or find something online. You've got everything you need for your project all in one place with Canva Pro. Personally, something I really love using Canva Pro for is creating YouTube thumbnails. I can easily add text and effects and different elements to my thumbnail. I also love having options to use all of these different transparent Apple devices and be able to easily replace the screen inside is super cool. It just helps to speed up the creative process and make things so much simpler, and in the end, you get something that just looks great. Again, whether it's a poster, it's a flyer, it's a presentation, a TikTok video, or much, much more, Canva Pro has got all the tools you need to design something perfect for your next project. It's simple, it's easy, it's affordable, and again, it's just plain fun. Design like a pro with Canva Pro. Try Canva Pro for free for 45 days by going to canva.me/theapplecircle. It is an incredible platform. I love it. I know you guys will too. So again, try Canva Pro for free for 45 days by going to canva.me/theapplecircle. In addition to all this news of the Series 7, there's another interesting tidbit of news, another rumor that is making a whole lot of people very excited, and that is the possibility of an Apple Watch Explorer edition, a rugged edition of the Apple Watch that is meant for your outdoor lifestyle, for being in the sand, the dirt, the mud, rock climbing. Basically, if you want to get outdoors and live that super active lifestyle, you would have an Apple Watch that's more durable and able to withstand the elements better than the current series right now. A little unclear what Apple could be doing with this, but that would be super super cool to see, and also opens the door for a rugged edition of the iPhone. Could we see a future iPhone in an Explorer edition that had like a super ruggedized case that maybe had a battery bank built in, maybe an emergency button on the outside, maybe had improved signal strength for cellular connectivity and other things? Could we see sort of Apple embrace this outdoor active lifestyle and produce maybe a lineup of accessories for the iPhone and the Apple Watch as well? That's getting a little crazy. Apple's never really been a huge player in the case game, but if we see it on the Series 7 and maybe the Series 8 or another future Apple Watch, it would be cool to see Apple bring an Explorer Edition option to the iPhone as well. At least I know many of you guys out there would really love to see that and would definitely probably buy it. So what are your thoughts on the Apple Watch Series 7? Do you think there's enough here with this new Apple Watch to make it a significant upgrade and maybe upgrade an older model you might have, or maybe even get you to buy one for the first time, or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, what are you excited to see on the iPhone 13, the new MacBook Pros, the iPad, and would you buy an Explorer edition of the iPhone? Yes or no? Leave it in the comments down below. I'm curious what your thoughts are. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I will see you in the next one.